I'll be in public and a woman will come up behind me, my ears, and say, pray for her hearing back. The thing, like, I don't want people to think I'm mush mouth and fat out.
Welcome back to Macy VTV. I am Macy Vessel. Macy VTV is a brand to give people a platform to share their truth and talents. And today with me, I have Amina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Miss Macy?
So today is about American Sign Language. So what age were you when you couldn't really, hear?
I was born with hearing loss, but I got my first pair of hearing aids at like 6 months old, 9 months old.
So how was that experience for you? Do you remember like anything from that age?
I remember ASL was my first language. I didn't speak growing up, but I didn't speak. That was my first language. I did ASL with my parents, and I started talking verbally because when I got into grade school, because they wanted me to easily communicate with the teachers and fellow students. So I remember some ASL from growing up, and I got into it in high school, and then I learned more as I continue to now, kind of thing.
So how was that experience for you trying to learn the English language from just doing sign language?
It was a bit difficult because it's going from talking with your hands and talking with your mouth verbally, because it got me self-conscious about my voice. Like, I think my voice is clear. Sometimes I'm talking too fast, or I'm talking too much, or talking too fast, or I'm not being clear or enunciating the words that are coming out of my mouth, kind of thing. So it's kind of a big difference with that ASL to English-speaking language kind of thing.
So how was the experience with other kids growing up with ASL? Because I know when people see people with hearing aids, they act like it's a disability. So they try to push you to the side. So did that happen to you?
It happened a couple times, but I was luckily able to be in a special group. So I had my teacher put me in a closed captioning video kind of thing, where I had to do another room to do testing, and had accommodations really with that. But some people, I'll be in public and a woman will come up behind me, my ears, and say, pray for her hearing back. It would be, yeah.
So what would your parents do in those situations? Because I know, as a parent, I'll be like, why are you touching my baby? Because nothing's wrong with her.
Yeah.
God blessed her with this. So how would your parents react?
My mom has hearing loss too, but she got it when she got older, so she knew how to maintain or how to handle that kind of situation. But it happened a couple times, but it was just kind of odd having a strange lady come up to you and pray for you, like you have
something's wrong.
Yeah, and you.
So would you get offended by that?
I would, but at the same time, they don't know any better, so I can't really get mad at them, because if they knew better, that'd be a different thing. But since they don't know, it's kind of like I kind of let it pass, but they do it continually. If that's when it gets okay, you shouldn't be doing this at all.
So how was your experience making friends growing up?
It was hard, especially since I couldn't hear them. In loud environments, I can't hear anything, or I could hear you if we were in a union, for example, but if someone was in the Chick-fil-A line or something, I could not hear them. So they could be calling my name, I can't hear them unless you wave. Yeah. I'll see you trying to talk to me, but other than that, it's kind of hard. But I got better at making friends. I was a shy kid growing up, but when I got to college, I kind of came out my shell.
So it made you better.
Yeah, very much.
Because I always wanted to know how was your experience, because you know a lot of people. When I go on Amina page, she knows everybody, and everybody knows Amina, baby. She's a celebrity on campus. So was it easy making all those friends, or did they just nurture towards you?
They nurtured toward me. Some of them I met through mutual friends, so I didn't meet everyone I know. A lot of people know me on campus too, so I try to be nice to everyone. So especially if they have questions, because some people just asking silly things do you dream in ASL or something like that?
How would you feel about that?
I mean, at the same time, that's a good question. Do I dream in ASL? It is a good question, though. Or do I dream in silence? Kind of thing.
How does that go for you?
It's kind of a routine. I'm kind of used to it now. So I'll kind of explain to them, I dream like you, but I just can't maneuver through life like you. So it's kind of a little difficult with me, with my hearing loss and everything. So that's how it is.
So, do you get offended by okay, so Twitter has a lot of offensive people on there.
Oh, yes.
And they try to make jokes out of stuff that isn't funny. And, sometimes people try to mock deaf people, they act like they can't talk. So do you find that offensive?
I do find that offensive. Being a person who is hard of hearing, that can speak, I know people think if you have hearing loss, you can't talk at all or verbally talk at all. So there are people who either don't do speech therapy like I did growing up, or who just do plain ASL and talk like I do. But it's just offensive because people assume because you have hearing loss, you can't talk.
No.
It's just crazy.
So did you have an interpreter growing up?
I didn't have an interpreter. I got into speech therapy around kindergarten, so I kind of started at a young age talking verbally and doing speech therapy. Like I had trouble talking. I'm kind of nervous right now. Am I talking right now? So I'm trying to make sure I'm talking clear and everything because
you are. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, girl. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like I don't want people to think I'm mush mouth and fat out with talking. Because I want to think I'm just talking with good information. That's it.
She said fat out, but oh my God, Amina. So how long did it take for you to learn the sign language? Because I don't know, something about English is kind of. Which one was easier for you to learn, English or sign language? But erase sign language from being your first though. But which one do you just find easier?
I find English a little easier because I grew up in a hearing family or people who didn't have hearing loss. And luckily, fun fact, my dad's dad was an audiologist who worked at Southern in the audiology department. So he knew how to handle hearing
situations
loss.
and stuff, yeah.
So my dad knew how my mom came about with her hearing loss, so it wasn't new to them, but it was new having a child who can't hear without the hearing aid and doing all types of things. Like I was a weird child. I was vacuuming with my hearing aids out thinking it's gonna be quiet. It's loud, so it wouldn't be quiet. But it's a challenge everyday life, and I would say English also because there's a lot of ways to sign because it's not like how we talk. Like my name is Amina. I used to do name my Amina or something like that. It's like a different. How can I say it? It's put in different ways or put in different parts of signing compared to talking straight English kind of thing.
So do you remember the first word that you learned?
It was mommy, and then daddy and grandma, grandpa.
So did you ever get them confused?
A lot, yes. I have to remember girls down here and boys up on the top.
So you want to teach me something?
Yeah.
Well, I want to learn how to do my name in sign language.
Okay.
So can you teach me?
Here's name.
So name.
My. M-A-C-Y.
Okay, so it's hold on, wait.
Name.
My. M-A-C-Y. I'm so excited. So this is more of a personal question, but growing up, did you ever see like your parents like break down because, not saying that you were a disability to raise, but you know a lot of parents pray for a child that has like no like abilities to where they have to teach them certain things or go through life a different way because they know how cruel the world can be. So did you ever see your family like break down?
No, but I got a lot of pressure from my parents to talk properly because I get lazy with my speech sometimes. I hear it now, but growing up I didn't hear it. So my mom would be like, say it, speak clearly. I'm thinking I am speaking clearly, but apparently she's hearing something I'm not hearing. So they would pressure me to speak clearly and everything, so I wouldn't be going out in public and people make fun of me because I'm talking in gibberish or they're not understanding anything I'm saying or anything like that.
So when you watch movies, do you like watch them with subtitles and stuff?
I just started watching them with subtitles at movie theaters. I didn't know that was a thing until like last year. But when I'm at home, I do like subtitles with closed captioning on like TV shows and movies here at home.
So is there such thing as something that's too loud for you? Because I know homecoming concerts are like just in general, it can hurt. Yeah.
The Migos set, that was a lot. I was front row and bass, I can feel bass. So when that Migos came on, my ears were ringing. I felt like I was in an earthquake or something. Like,
did you get up out of there? Or you couldn't move?
I could not move.
It was crowded. So let's get into your organization that you want to start. What will be the name of it?
Hopefully the name will be ASL on the Bluff. With me and Aaliyah, my friend Aaliyah, will be co-founding the club. So we want to bring awareness to the hard of hearing community or deaf community on campus because I know people want to be interested in learning about the culture, the deaf culture, because it's everywhere. I mean, we might assume that we live in a hearing world, but there's different people like myself being hard of hearing and black and everything. So it's kind of bringing awareness or bringing it to a light, like showing people that this is what you can do. You can learn it and learn about the culture and have a culture appreciation for it.
And be accepted.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Thank you.
That was like, I know the word. I just tried to think of it myself, baby.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be starting that this semester, then we can get it off the floor next semester. So y'all be on the lookout for us.
I'm actually very excited to see that because, you know, I was in class. I'm actually still in class, but yeah. I have a classmate that has interpreters come. He has like 3 that I've seen so far.
Oh, wow.
So do you know how much that costs, like, to have somebody come with you?
I didn't know we had more than one deaf person. I mean, I know myself, but I don't meet. It's not like they have a club right now. Like you could just meet other people like you on campus or anything.
Yeah, because actually his last interpreter that came ended up giving us, saying that there should be more colored interpreters, and she asked the class why, because she was a Caucasian. And I was the only one, well, me and another girl spoke up, and I was like, probably because, you know, being a black person, you'll relate more to a black person. So if you had an interpreter, would you rather them be a black interpreter?
Oh, yeah. Especially if they're reading like a book in high school. It would be like, that's what I want to do. You know, but yeah. And I would be interested in doing an interpreting thing, like especially for like concerts on campus or something, like doing the national anthem at football games or something. And also, since I'm a nursing major, I want to be a pediatric nurse that specializes in deaf or hard of hearing kids, because I know it's not easy trying to get help in the health community or health providers, and you can't communicate with them. Because the usual language is Spanish, Chinese, or French. Not a lot of people have ASL interpreters on hand to help people, so I want to do that for my future too.
Has anybody ever tried to snatch your hearing aid out your ear?
Plenty of times. Yes, ma'am.
Hold on, wait. Because I was just asking because it came to my head. How did that go for you?
So you know people take off people's glasses and say how many fingers you see?
Oh my God. So it was like bullies basically.
Oh yeah. All through elementary school, yeah. People be like, oh, you can hear everything. You have supersonic hearing. No, honey, I don't.
No,
I can't hear everything fine. So yeah, I got a lot of those. I had one person try to threaten to put my hearing aids in water. These are not waterproof. We were at lunch, he pulled them out my ears and just like, you want them? Come get them. I was embarrassed that whole day.
Did a teacher do anything about it?
Yeah, he got in trouble.
Okay.
I ain't seen him since that day.
Oh, they said expel.
Yes.
Expel. What grade was that?
Had to be like 5th grade.
Oh, okay. So he was old enough for some sense, basically.
Yes.
Okay. No excuses. So would you ever trade anything in the world to get full hearing, or do you appreciate being a part of the ASL community?
I appreciate being a part of the ASL hard of hearing community because I wouldn't say it defines me, but it kind of makes me who I am. Especially if I grew up my whole life learning ASL, I wouldn't want to just go automatically change it and try to be normal, because this is who I am, really. A hard of hearing person at 20 years old trying to learn ASL again and everything, and just go through life as hard as it can be, especially in the pandemic with the mask on. That's what made it worse. The mask kind of reads lips and everything. That's just hard. So I would keep my hearing loss for all I can.
Yeah. So is there any advice you would like to give to the ASL community that's growing up deaf or hard of hearing, or anything that you would like to say?
I'm going to say for the young kids who have hard of hearing or hearing loss like myself, don't give up on your dreams, even though you have hearing loss. That's not going to harm your way of being what you want to be. Like, I want to be a nurse. I thought I couldn't do it because I'm hard of hearing, but I'm still going through it. It's hard, but I'm still going through it, so don't give up, okay?
Let's give it a round of applause for you. So before we wrap up the segment, can you teach me thank you?
Thank you.
And how do you say Amina?
Amina.
Okay, so I'm just going to say Amina. So do the thank you again.
Thank you.
So thank you, Amina. Thank you everyone for watching Macy VTV. If you need any advice or words of wisdom, please don't fear to reach out to me or Amina, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching Macy VTV. Love you guys.